SBR Videos is sponsored by Sports Cash System. Click on the link below for more information. Previewing Week 3 in the NFL here at SBR Forum Videos, I'm Peter Loshak, and we are talking right now with industry legend Al McMordie, Big Al McMordie from BigAl.com. Big Al, thanks for being with us this week.
You're welcome, Peter. I like that legend thing you're hanging on.
No,
That's nice. Thank you.
But you are kind of. I mean, I don't think that's hyperbole. Is it? You've been around for a million years, and last year you were #1 in Sports Monitor, right, in the NFL top picks. Is that true?
That's correct. 77% last season on our top plays documented #1. That was our 36th handicapping championship in my 22 years, so I have had a lot of success.
There you 36th handicapping championship in 22 years. To me, that's legend. I don't know what else you want. All right, before we get into Chicago at Pitt, tell us a little bit about BigAl.com.
Well, I've got 14 handicappers on the site, including myself, and so whether someone wants a fundamental handicapper or a technical handicapper, we've got all types at BigAl.com. People like Larry Ness, Ben Burns, Brian Leonard, Scott Spreitzer, and you can go to the website and click on picks for sale and get everyone's best plays every day. And even better than that, we've got 3 free plays every day at the website, 2 from myself, 1 from Larry Ness. Folks can go to BigAl.com on the homepage and listen to Larry's Ness Noise Report every day. They can click on free picks and get a free pick from me, both on my audio report as well as just kind of by text. So there's a lot of great information at the website, BigAl.com, and I hope people, drop by to check it out.
Chicago at Pitt. All right, here we go. Pitt plus 2.5. Total's actually 40.5, up from 38.5. Now, I've been looking at Pitt. When they started the season, I thought they were an auto fade. Then after week 1, I thought they were just an enormous auto fade, right? Last week, they played Cincinnati, got, the relatively comfortable ATS loss again. I'm thinking here they are, plus 2.5 at home dog. Is there any way they have value? I can't see that. Are they an auto fade again? I think so, probably. The Bears are 2-0, a little bit lucky to start the season 2-0, but they have some life in them. What do you think? Chicago minus 2.5?
Yeah, I kind of agree with you, Peter. Forget the fact that the Steelers have had tremendous history. I think that's what a lot of people will hang their hats on if you take the Steelers, how they've got this great home dog record and they play well off, back-to-back losses at home, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But this is not your father's Steelers football team. They're not that good this year. They've got a terrible running game. You mentioned Chicago having a couple of narrow wins. If you're a Bears fan, you can either look at the glass being half full or half empty. After all, they're 2-0 on the season with both wins coming at home, but they failed to cover the point spread in each of those 2 games. Mm-hmm. Chicago pushed against the Bengals in week 1. Then they squeaked by versus Minnesota last week with a 1-point win as a 6-point favorite. Now, I prefer to look at this as the glass being half full. Anytime you can be 2-0 in the NFL, you'll take it. And given the fact that Chicago has the new coach and Mark Trestman, some people thought there could be a bit of a learning curve on the part of the players with the new system. But the fact that they're 2-0, they've got to be feeling real good about themselves. And then, moreover, both victories were against teams that made the playoffs last season. So Chicago fans have to be pretty happy. Now they're actually going to get their toughest test of the season thus far, as they have to go into Heinz Field to play the Steelers, who will be in an ornery mood after dropping to 0-2 last Monday. But one of the things, Peter, I love to do is playing on undefeated teams in week 3 who are matched up against an opponent off a straight-up loss. These teams, do very well if it's a competitively priced game where the point spread ranges from plus 7.5 to minus 7.5 points since 1980. Our unbeaten teams in this situation are a super 51-30 against the spread, including 35-19 ATS away from home. The problem with the Steelers is that they just can't run the football effectively without Le'Veon Bell in the lineup. They're averaging just 38 yards a game, while Chicago's running the ball for 105 yards a game. And that always spells doom for teams in the NFL if you can't run the football. And teams which average less than 55 yards a game cover just 35% of the time versus teams that rush for 100 or more yards a game. Those teams have covered just 20 of 57 since 1980. I think it all adds up to an easy Chicago win on the road here.
Yeah, I agree with you. The only thing that makes me a little bit nervous is it just seems a little too easy. You know what I mean? Maybe, this is a line that should be a little bit bigger and the books are quote unquote, begging for Chicago action, but you don't put much credence in that way of thinking?
Well, I don't think it does look easy, as you say. I think the line is probably right. Chicago hasn't covered the spread yet this season. So, one can argue that they're not doing better than the marketplace, is expecting. And,
Right, right.
Pittsburgh only failed by, 3 points against Cincinnati. So it's not as if they were destroyed against the spread. And Pittsburgh does have that strong record as a home underdog. So I think there's, it's still a lot of, when you have to go on the road and win by 3 or more points at Pittsburgh, that is a tough task. I mean, this is the lowest point spread for Chicago all season. They were favored by 3 against the Bengals and then, 6 against Minnesota. So this will be their toughest test on the road to try to win. It's only a 2.5 point.
All right. Well,
I think we'll do it.
I'm trying to come up with some holes in the obvious play here, but we haven't been able to so far. Chicago -2.5 it is. Thanks, Big Al.